Greetings, Starfinders. How wonderful to have you all back here with us in the Secret Lab, with me, your host, Mad Professor Jayven Fox, for some more sci-fi RPG antics. I hope you've all had a nice break. Our cast have, I hope. Cree, welcome in. Second half of Season 2 gets underway right here, right now. Vampire Child, welcome in. Don Dark, welcome in. CB, welcome in. Good to see you all. Well, quick roundup then. When we last left the intrepid crew of the Rusty Mustang, they had been tasked with removing the head of the Garza Clan, an organised crime family, on Clem and Yala's home planet of Marianas VI. They were given this task by the captain of the Farabarium during their time there trying to relocate the refugees. So they packed up their stuff and set off into the stars. On the way, they managed to intercept one of the Garza Clan's illicit transports of a local narcotic known as Nebula Root, which takes many different forms, and upon boarding the Garza Clan's automated shuttle, complete with its AI, dubbed by the crew Gary, they relieved the Garza Clan of a rather sizable quantity of a few different variations of this narcotic. They have since touched down on Marianas VI, outside of the main town, I suppose you could say the capital city, in a discreet cave in a canyon just out in the desert that lays outside the temperate belt here on Marianas VI, and that is where we are going to pick it up as they try and get the lay of the land here on Marianas, and let's work out what they do. So, without further ado, let's jump into the credits. And by the way, welcome YouTube. I'm a couple of weeks behind on edits at the moment, but there'll be some more coming up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And hope you enjoy the show. So, folks, as I mentioned in the intro, you currently have a cargo hold full of drugs, varying types. So, as we discussed before the Season 2 midway break, here on Marianas VI, there is a pretty ubiquitous narcotic called Nebula Root. It grows wild here in these parts, and has been part of Marianas culture for many a year. Now, traditionally, it's kind of chewed or made into foods, drinks even, and you get a kind of a light kind of gentle effects. Maybe some gentle euphoria, disinhibition. Kind of spiritual vibes. But as you go up the chain, the legality of said Nebula Root starts to go down across the system, and the taboo level goes up. So the next level up would be things like inhaling typically through a kind of shisha pipe type contraption, maybe with a clear plastic mask. That would be. It's known as a few things, but that would be when you inhale it, you get much stronger effects. So you're looking maybe limited empathic connection, maybe some mild hallucinations. That is you know from Clem and a little bit of local knowledge, checking out the nets before you get off the ship, that it's kind of decriminalised. And it's looked down on in certain social circles to consume it in such a way. It's a little bit more, a little bit edgier, but it is accepted. It is an accepted part of the culture here in Marianas, and you'll see that around the planet.
Wait, sorry.
Okay.
It enhances psychic stuff, or it gives you psychic stuff?
So it can bring out, it can promote a limited empathic connection, which much like the sort of limited telepathy that you and she have, but it can provoke like a mild version of that, which makes it such a popular kind of.
I take back all my jokes about Clara getting into the drugs.
She
doesn't need more empathy right now.
Well, this is the thing. This is why it's kind of quite a popular kind of party drug, because if you're partying with people, you get that you get like a temporary empathic connection with them, which can enhance certain things. Finally, you have very illegal, highly refined, and this is more of an industrial chemical process to do this. You have Nebu tags and Nebu tabs. Tags being kind of like slow infusion patches, and Nebu tabs being pill form. They are pretty much universally illegal around the place, and even here on Marianas, it's not really tolerated. There are two very high-end military government applications of this drug. It can be refined into something called lucidium, which cranks up its properties and it essentially acts as a form of truth serum. So you can understand why that would be a popular tool amongst the somewhat shadier members of the Pack Worlds. And if it is played with quite seriously, you can essentially spin off. I suppose it would almost be like an antitoxin, right? So it's the almost the polar opposite of the effects that you would normally associate with nebula root, and it can be used to essentially harden troops, making them more disconnected from their actions. Of course, gives them some sort of insulation against PTSD type symptoms, but mainly by making them kind of more socio and psychopathic. Because they are.
Clara season 1?
So it's like that's quite nasty stuff, and that is very illegal everywhere.
What's that called, Jay?
Goes by several names. Very difficult to, say them in English.
I go by many names.
Get out of my head, mate.
At some point, I will tell you what the name of that is when I've worked it out.
So what?
It's a very long chemical name, It's like it's not really, and it's not like widely distributed or understood. It's very, very niche.
In game, what would do you know what the effects would be?
All you would know is that essentially it can promote aggression, essentially dampen empathy, and has a sort of a slight. It's a stimulant. It's like I say, almost like the anti-nebula route, but really cranked up a notch.
Watching an episode of Question Time.
So that's now you guys have an awful lot of Nebutabs, if I remember rightly, in your hold.
You got a lot more of it.
And I think you had some.
Yes.
You had some harvested but unprocessed root as well, but it was predominantly the pharmaceutical form, which is
we had nebula. We have nebutabs and nebutags.
Okay, so you've got you've got a lot of pharmaceuticals and some raw root.
Death stick replacement therapy.
Death stick replacement therapy. That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's what Gary had been told. The poor AI that was operating the ship.
Alright,
He couldn't understand how what it says on his manifest could be different to reality. If I remember rightly.
Gary 37.
Gary 37, indeed. So, you are currently parked discreetly outside of town. Your nearest town, it's known in the sort of like people who speak English locally. There is a kind of a local vernacular. So its English name would be basically Freetown, imaginatively. It's known as, in the local tongue, what is it called again? I do remember this. I'll find it. I've got way too many notes on this planet, so finding anything might take me a second. But it is written, which is, a nice change.
This was me the other day.
It is written.
Looking through my many notes on my on this world.
It's what we want to see.
Kota Bebas is the name of the capital city. Kota Bebas. So that you are currently probably about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Kota Bebas if you take the ass. So, folks. It's all yours.
Well, guys, good job hiding the ship. I think we should be safe here. How's everyone doing?
Like, so ready to get off the ship. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Would Balaz have the ability to refine our nebutabs or nebutags into the military?
I was just thinking.
No.
Oh.
You're not gonna put me to work in a drug lab. I'm going to the Rouge Saloon. You
Breaking
can't say,
Blaz.
Blaz, you stay here and cook while we all go fuck off to the brothel.
Yeah.
Breaking Blaz.
Basically.
Immediately
Blaz.
Shane
down
into
to his
this.
underwear just in case, just locked in the med bay.
Going Walter White. He's run out in his gas mask.
Is it space mask?
It's his face mask, underpants, that's it.
There you go. Off you go. That's just my nice trunks.
Just underpants like that we've never seen before that just have a picture of OSHA on the crotch. No one's a little bit like, what? Sorry, I'll stop.
Eisenblast vampire child says.
Are you going to be obsessed with finding like the army version of this drug the entire time we're on planet?
Yeah, and so should you as the other absolutely psychotic murderer in this group.
Checking that we're on the same wavelength.
There we are.
Look, guys, has anyone seen Clara? Where's Clara?
I think she was asleep.
Oh, I need a word with her, so let me go and check in on her. And Blaz knocks on Clara's door.
Come in. This is a book.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
Method. Always with the method. I love it.
She's not just hiding behind her hat.
Yeah, just got to pause
Don't
up.
worry, your acting skills are good enough for us to tell that was a book.
Yeah.
Thank you. My ears are
I'm
playing
I'm glad to see our problem-solving
Prepared me.
skills are sharpened after a couple of weeks off. Well done, everybody. Right, let's have your moment. Do your thing.
In a super awkward way, Blaz says, "Hey, sea dog, how you doing?"
See, dog. What happened?
Nothing. Well, maybe some things happened. Definitely. I mean, we've landed, so there's that.
Yep.
We acquired some new cargo.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a lot. And some drugs. You know, and
Drugs.
I have. Well, yeah. I mean, you need to see for yourself.
Medicinal or recreational?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I have your results.
Oh.
And Blas removes an envelope from his coat and says, "Clara, you are not, and have never been, the mother, according to these results."
Fuck.
Sorry, Jeremy Kyle.
The? Not A.
Let me have my Maury moment.
Jerry. Thank you, Blas. That's wonderful news.
Oh, great. So, can you come and help kind of control Ormanganda? He keeps talking about
that
putting
sounds
me
like
to
a
work
full-time
on.
job to even try a little bit.
Keeps
But
talking about putting me to work on refining drugs, and I just want to go to the Rouge Saloon.
I feel like that's. How long was I asleep? I feel like that's not why we're here.
Quite a long time, actually.
Okay.
I mean,
great.
we are in the middle of framing the local Vesk criminal element for the hijacking of our nice new, highly illicit cargo.
Right.
So yeah, you might want to come and kind of harness our energy.
At this point, Ormanganda
You
sticks his
want
head round the
me
door,
to try and help you control the lizard boy that keeps threatening to put me on a leash?
and he just throws a load of pills at Blast, and then another load of pills.
Oh my god, we need those.
Don't waste them, Jesus. Throw something else at him. Knock him out. Chain him up.
Whoa, who?
Picks up one of
You
those
wanted
plants and throws
to
it.
go to the Rouge Saloon. There you go.
I'm gonna call Clem up.
Him.
Between
Hey there.
Ormanganda's wanting to put me on a leash and she wanting to chain up Blas, I feel like we're in danger of some sexcapades that we don't want to be in danger of, Blas.
Medicinal purposes.
Clearly, Madame Dragones casts a very long dragon-shaped
Hey-
shadow across
hey,
the
Clem.
cosmos.
Hey there,
Clem.
what's going on up here? Look, I said I'd stash these things for you, but I don't want them all over the stang. Get those things back in the crates. I don't
We'll
want
clean it
all
up,
these
don't
illicits
worry.
flying around the ship. This is my home, guys.
Yeah, Ormanganda.
You know the most about this place. Any you know this town, right? Any place we should look out for? Anything we should look out for in this town? Any people that might be around? I know it's been a while, but you know.
Well, it's been getting on for 30 years, but, I mean, it's a pretty small town, really, not a huge population here on Marianas. You got the infamous Rouge Saloon down there in Freetown. Well, what else? Well, that's where the mayor's office is. You found a bunch of stores, and it's the main port, so you got a lot of people coming and going. A lot of people from off world on their way to wherever. This is probably your most cosmopolitan kind of settlement here on Marianas. There are a few more dotted around, depending on what you're looking for. But you can get a shuttle from the town pretty much anywhere on planet.
Okay.
As far as the movers and shakers go, I'm a bit out of touch. Your guess is as good as mine at this stage. We kind of left here and never looked back.
Alright, well, we're gonna take the ass out down into town. You stay hidden. You guys stay hidden. You and Yala.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be too popular out there. We're gonna be keeping a real low profile while we're here.
Keep comms open though, and notify us if anything happens.
Shall do, brother. We'll keep an eye on the stash.
Nice, and yeah, we'll be in contact. If we don't get back to you, if we don't check in at least by tonight, then you know, maybe give us a call and try and see what's going on.
Good idea. And well, listen, when you're out there, just remember this ain't the core planets. There are good people here on Marianas, but it can get a bit rough. So keep an eye on your stuff and don't go too crazy out there, okay?
Yeah, and don't set phasers to stun, everybody. Do not set phasers to stun.
Are they ever set to stun?
Sometimes.
Are they supposed to be?
I can stun things.
I think both she and Norman are going to have a moment where they're looking at each other like, what is this stun they're talking about? Stun.
Laz scrapes up the pills that have been thrown at him, kind of strolls back to the cargo hold and just drops a double handful in. But palms a couple.
So just so
of
course, just so you're aware as well, you guys at the end of the very last episode, in case you don't remember, you essentially with the loader got all of the crates off towards the back of the cavern. So the Stang, if it does need to move, you will not have the cargo on board it unless there is some time to reload it. But that was kind of the point. Just so you kind of got an exact whereabouts of everything. The stash is under some tarps towards the back of the cavern, with the Stang kind of parked in the mouth of the cave.
How many crates did we have, Jay?
A lot.
It's really specific.
So many that you can't count that high, Holmenganda.
There's not the
5?
Damn, that's a lot of crates. Okay, so
eggs. God.
So many eggs.
Guys, let's jump on the ass, yeah, and head on into town.
Is it worth trying to think about a plan first, or when we
No,
Captain?
No, we always make a plan, and it never ever stick to it. So let's just go in, and we'll formulate on the spot. How about that?
As Blaz is throwing his leg over the ass, he says, "Look,
Riker style.
Yeah, exactly. We already drew the big green Vesk reproductive organ of Doom on Gary's floor. So we've stolen the drugs. We're framing the Vesk. I say we carry on trying to make the Vesk fight the Garza Clan, and just kind of ride things out from there. Have a cup of tea, wait for all this to blow over."
Wait, did you actually draw a giant Vesk penis in that shit?
I did.
You did, yeah.
I blocked that bit out.
Yeah, that happened.
Why am I not surprised?
It's in my notes.
We couldn't work out what the gang tag was, remember? For the green, whatever they're called. So he
Green Street Gang.
Yeah, we couldn't
Isn't it just like a Millwall lion? I assume that's what Jay was going for.
That was
Maybe I've got my firms wrong.
It's like a stylized Vesk head or something.
No, it was a cloaca or reproductive organ.
It was a.
All right. Well,
wasn't it one of the weapons? One of the traditional Vesk weapons.
Doshko, that was it.
Doshko.
Yeah, because we agreed that Vesks don't actually have dicks.
No, I think they have a cloaca.
I remember that.
I feel like the Rouge Saloon is like an evening.
Omaganda checks. He's like, oh.
So maybe we go into town first and see what's going on. See if there's any public events happening.
Look, let's just get to the Rouge Saloon so we can placate Balaz, and then we can come back and he can make me some war drugs. Me and she some war drugs.
Yeah, watch out on the me more than we.
Go team. let's go.
I'm still really, really unconvinced of a plan. Like, I'm just gonna kind of look at Clara. Like,
We have no plan. This is the plan.
Don't look at
Plan
me,
is-
I'm not the captain
We're
anymore.
using the no plan.
He's the
plan.
captain now.
Captain
This
says
is the
there's no plan.
yeah.
This is the we're using the no plan. It's a tried and true and tested. And
I'm officially
time.
not qualified enough to make decisions anymore, except for what kind of hot chocolate I would like to drink later.
okay, I'm just gonna really quickly send you a telepathic message. Say we only need one more for a coup.
She's
the
gonna
fuck out
send
your
me one
leadership,
back
mate.
saying, if it was anyone but Face, I'd agree.
So freewheeling Captain Face loads up his crew.
She'd
And-
join you in a coup against the other two, but not Face.
The other two that have never been in charge and don't want to.
Don't
Exactly,
ever let
exactly.
the other two be in
That's my
charge.
point. Is that if the you two had been put in charge, then she would protest a lot more. But she trusts Face.
The speed at which you lot can descend into squabbling is really quite impressive.
Why?
Just a quick one. Thank you for the gift sub to Dust Lucky and a Creed on Dark. Appreciate it. And resub from Fish. Oh, there we go. I'm doubling up. Thanks, y'all.
We were
In the
debating-
And if you're wondering
nice and early.
And
Can
if
I
you're wondering
take some
what's
of
in the test tubes this week, it's rehydration salts because I was on a 2-day stag do over the weekend, so I can I now have an augmented liver, much like Blaz, and my body has started to reject fine barbecue food. It's like can't eat any more prime rib.
Oh no.
It's not a bad
Feel
problem
re-
to have.
Feel
That
really, really bad for you.
Genuinely.
to be completely over prime rib is like that's good times. They're good problems to have.
James, you want the world's smallest violin to play for him?
I'm good. I'm happy. Right. So you get to
Can I
Trundlin.
take?
Oh, go on.
Can I just before we go? Can I just take a little bit of the the nebula route, the stuff that's acceptable, and tap it into what is described on my inventory as my little boy pipe?
Yes, you could definitely put some in your little boy pipe. Yeah.
Wait, what does the root do again?
If you smoke it, you get some hallucinations and stuff.
And you become slightly empathetic.
Think.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, empathic, not empathetic.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
empathic.
empathy leads to. Empathic
empathy.
abilities lead to empathy, right? Surely.
Oh, you know what? I'm disappointed. I thought it was empathetic because then I thought like Ormangando would have a really bad trip because he'd start feeling what other people
You start having
feel.
warm and fuzzies.
And I'd be like, I don't like this.
It's funny because Clara is an empath in the magical way and the emotional way, which is why she struggles so hard to keep control of her emotions. And why she's really, really fucking depressed and is just wanting hot chocolate and to kill things right now.
But if she was sharing a room with Ormangando, she'd just want to kill things all the time, and she'd be really, really fine with it.
That's
Pretty much.
Be good for her mental health,
Suddenly, this being leashed is not sounding like such a bad idea.
and it would probably be good for Bilaz's mental health as well, because he wouldn't be in a room with a psychotic lizard filled with trophies.
No, he'd be in a room with a psychotic non-lizard.
That's
that
true. Yeah, there's no
probably
win for
hates
him,
him more
really,
than
is
you
there?
do.
I like to think that you guys are all having this
Conversation in the back of the
character,
ass.
in the back of the ad.
Yeah.
Just like 45-minute drive to this
Yeah.
town,
Just
and you
really
guys are all
quickly,
just
we
Like just
can't-
bickering like teenagers.
Well, we're not
Ormangando
bickering,
doesn't
we're
hate Bilaz.
theorizing. We're theorizing
Bilaz.
on
Wrong.
what would happen
This-
if we changed
This is
up
the
their
ignorance is
Yeah.
bliss argument, and Blaz is leaning into it, and he's driving the ass into town, singing at the top of his
You
voice.
don't drive.
I can drive.
You don't drive. What's your
God, we're
pilot?
all
She's
going
like, you're not allowed to drive. Get in the back.
Give me a piloting check, please, Blaz. First
We're all gonna
check of the
die,
second
and
half of the
it's gonna be
season.
because of Blaz's
Oh, and by the
driving.
way, as much as I'm a fan of roleplay, I am and I have 2 kids. I'm definitely not role-playing a long drive with people squabbling in the back. All right, you know, I have to enjoy myself too.
Squabbling.
It was
In
debating.
our defense, we weren't squabbling.
Okay, so
We were
I tune
theorising.
out. I can't even tell anymore, Chloe. Chloe?
Over-
This is Clara and Zoe every time I do this.
I've rolled a 9.
So it takes
In
us about an
total.
hour and a half to get there.
It's the 45-minute
We
drive.
crashed 10
Yeah.
times.
You take a what you thought was a relatively straight route. You have to kind of like, there are a couple of points where you can't quite get the ass up a steep hill, and it starts to conk out, and you have to kind of go back down like another sort of 10 minutes or so to find another pass through. I mean, it's fine, but like, it's just everybody's a bit like fraying.
I'm just staring at you.
Could have been there 20 minutes ago. But you do arrive at least safely.
That's why we had to have that talk about the bedrooms, because Blaz was taking so fucking long to drive us there. See, it all
Oh
worked
my
out.
fucking god. Blaz walks away from the group. Just like, gets off the ass and beelines for a
Phase-
shop or something.
Face gets out a
Lad.
giant
Keys?
toothpick.
Keys? Yeah? Can you throw me the keys?
No, they're mine. I'm keeping them. Fuck you guys.
So, you guys
You.
pull up the wagon just outside of Freetown, outside of Kota Bebas, and you can see this is the biggest settlement here on Marianas. So there are some fairly tall lit buildings. But I mean, you don't get to see much of the light at this point because we are in the daytime. I would say it's probably about mid-morning on planet. Pretty similar day-night cycle to Earth, maybe slightly shorter days and nights. This particular settlement is sort of nestled on the edge. As we talked about before, you've got green poles, sort of an inverse to our planet. You've got green jungly poles, and then you've got this kind of desert terrain equator. Most of the settlements are actually dotted around the kind of, I suppose, as an analogy to our planet, it would be kind of like just below the Arctic Circle, essentially, as it starts to move from being thick jungle, but before the vegetation completely thins out, and that kind of transition between desert and jungle, I suppose, a kind of like a temperate beach around the edge of each pole is kind of where you'll find most of your inhabitants of Marianas. It's not a huge city. Maybe a couple 100,000, maybe. It's not massive, but it's bustling, and you see other ships of a wide variety of sizes touching down on a large group of landing pads surrounding the city. So large landing pads of varying sizes for cargo ships and cruisers, and this is a popular stop-off in between the Packed Worlds and near space planets. So as you're heading out of the Packed Worlds, this is a pretty good kind of place to refuel in all the ways that can mean. So not very few people's final destination, but an awful lot of people stopping off on the way, and this is where most of them come through.
What's the mix of races like?
So here on Marianas, it's a bit of a hodgepodge, really, of races. Varies from settlement to settlement, but you'll find a good mix of humans, scatterings of Lashunta, Shirin. It's pretty cosmopolitan, actually, with all of the traffic coming through. A strong Yusoki contingent, certainly this settlement is pretty mixed. But yeah, lots of humans, lots of Yusoki, a good proportion of Vesk as well. Vesk who kind of live outside the Veskarium. So yeah, a good bunch of Vesk strolling about as well.
I want to keep my eye on any Vesks.
Okay.
Jay, before I leave, I meant to do this. I did actually make a note and then I forgot. Before I leave the ass, because I forgot to do it in the ship, I'm going to sterilize my uniform in the sense that I'm going to remove my pips and the iconography that marks me out as a member of the Hammers. So my cadet puts my, so it just looks like a completely plain uniform. There's no indications of rank or unit.
Okay, unmarked, but still Vesk military.
Oh.
Still evidently Vesk military, but no indication of the unit or my rank.
Noted. Okay, yeah, fine.
Garza is still wearing his shiny blue suit.
Oh, you're wearing your formal
New
wear
favorite
out
clothing. New favorite clothing. Fuck yeah.
Oh,
With a
Clara's
pimp hat.
definitely in her goth garb, not her mirror.
I don't know how Esla Lagar is going to feel about that, like you just wearing it as like your travel clothes, but that's between you and him.
I am
What he
determined to
doesn't
get.
know can't hurt him.
I'm determined to get one of those outfits that you can like store up to like 5 different outfits in one. just so I can like, you know, I want to get some cultural outfits on each planet we visit, and then sort of just wear them whenever.
Nice. Traveling incognito like a local.
Yeah.
Like it. Okay, folks. So, what's the plan, gang? I mean, not the plan. Obviously, we don't do plans anymore. But what are you doing?
Yeah, no, there's no plan. Obviously, first things first. Who's hungry?
Yes.
Yeah, we could go for a bite.
Yeah. We find somewhere local. Might be able to get some information.
You thinking what I'm
Place
thinking?
that does pastries.
I'm thinking lizard on a stick.
Yeah, boy.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so as you approach Kota Bebas, you reach these large landing pad complexes. In fact, I'll give you. What I'll do is I'll very quickly give you a bit of a blast. This isn't not so much a functional map. This is more of a just to give you a bit of a feel for sort of what you're looking at. So kind of ignore the scale on this, but schloop. Okay, so here you are. So you'll see, obviously, up at the top there, you've got like a large landing pad complex. It's kind of nestled in some. It's just kind of like a little bit mountainous around here, not crazy, but obviously you've got the canyons further out where you've parked the Rusty Mustang. So it is starting to get a bit rocky. I suppose it's verging on Nevada-esque, but not quite as deserty just yet. So come an hour's drive back towards Los Angeles, and you're getting the kind of like about the right temperate mix. Not full desert, but pretty dry.
I was thinking sort of like South America.
That is, yeah, you're about there, I think, with that. There's the city's kind of is partially walled. It's been here quite some time. You've got these lots of little streets and things to explore. Obviously, like I say, this is not to scale, so you can imagine these buildings being fucking big and quite tall as well. It is quite built up. Most built up settlement here on the planet.
Baz is gonna look out for any sort of gambling establishment.
A gambling establishment.
Yeah, looking for flashing lights.
Okay, so as you potter the landing pad complex, there is, and I'll just highlight it on the map. So around here there is a large series of warehouses, fairly strong local government, local police force contingent, and it seems to be the main customs hub for this city. So there's an awful lot of vehicles moving around, quite a few feds, a lot of passengers disembarking, checking in, paperwork, all the rest of it, and you come to this large, two tall spires, tall enough to have aircraft lights on the top, so that they're very visible to incoming ships, and they seem to be kind of part guard tower, part welcome gate. Probably looking at around about 15-20 stories tall. And as you near them, you realise that actually there are some administrative offices based within this structure as well. There's some vendors around, trying to be the first ones to get their kind of claws into new intake off the shuttles that are ferrying back and forth.
Is there any could we not just walk to the part of the place where there's no wall, just to avoid any sort of going through gates and then having to answer any questions?
You can.
I feel like that's a good choice, right, guys? Not having, if we just go round the wall instead of through this big ass gate with lots of people here.
Feels like it might be a bit suspicious.
He's
I mean-
watching. I mean, would it look suspicious? Are there people that kind of have an eye on who's coming towards the entrance? If they do, they might think it's a bit sus if we suddenly just dive off to the side.
So you're still on the road coming into town, and like I say, the map is a little bit misleading in some ways because it's so much bigger than you'd imagine from this map. I mean, this little this thing here that looks like a little house. No, it's not a little house. That's like a city block. So you got to scale all this up quite a way. These landing pads are to they can take hundreds of people ships. They're huge. It is a busy port. You don't know the security arrangements of the city. You only have this information because obviously you have some local information off the local. Oh, what are we going to call it? The Marianet from back at the Rusty Mustang, and a little bit of local knowledge from Clem.
Yeah, because I just feel like we are not here on any sort of good business. We didn't land anywhere near here. And I don't want to tell them where the ship is if we get asked.
But they don't know that we haven't come from
Yeah.
some other settlement.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a problem if this is as big as it seems to be. 20-story tall spires at the gate. I'm sure we can get in.
Yeah, I say we just wander in, and if something happens, it happens.
That's it. If there's a lot of vendors, like you say, collected around as well, there's probably going to be quite a lot of heavy people coveragey, whatever it's
Well,
called.
I mean, this is the thing.
Busyness.
Me and Ormungandr are quite big, quite difficult to hide.
Well, that's your problem.
It's not like
We can't all just stand under a street light dancing and be invisible.
Yeah,
Like certain people.
you're pretty good at that, but me, to be fair, Ormungandr,
One
there's
day
a lot
I
of
will
Besk
not.
here, so you might be helped out by that fact.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty
But-
stealthy.
Oh,
I mean, not compared to she, but that's just because there are ninjas who can walk across Nightingale floorboards who aren't stealthy compared to she. So
All right, let's just go through. Let's just go through the
Unless
gate.
she's drunk.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
and even when she's
Kind of
drunk,
statue. I did knock the statue over.
okay, but if we get stopped by security and I have to answer a bunch of questions,
We'll just
have
kill
to
them.
bluff,
You do the
or
talking,
we just kill them.
Captain.
all right, okay, let's go. And I'm as we start
Like,
walking,
yeah,
I'm
you.
just gonna grumble to myself about how much I hate being asked loads of questions.
Can I just check?
Ormungandr hears. I say that, and he's like, "Face, where do eggs come from?"
Can I just check? So, are you abandoning your vehicle, or are you driving your vehicle
Did we
into town?
park it?
Ooh.
I feel like we should park it somewhere.
Hmm.
About the
Why don't we
vehicle,
drive it
let's
into town and park it?
somewhere.
Are there parking facilities or?
You didn't. If you didn't check at the Rusty Mustang, you don't know. What I'll tell you is that that
Could
road
we
in.
check on our?
That road in is like a double motorway sized It's
okay.
big.
All we need
There's
to
there's a steady flow of traffic and people coming and to and froing between the landing pad complex. And
I
the
drive
city
it
itself.
clean through the spire gates.
Face
You
walks
go.
off camera and then pulls in a wall painted like to look like the background, but with a big rock on it, and just puts it in front of the ass.
Are you inventing inventory items again, or was this or is this a witch warp thing?
Between us, we had paint and
No, but I was thinking.
Crafting material.
This is Wile E. Coyote level bullshit.
Yeah, I was going for Waikari because I do have like an invisibility spell, but the ass is too big for me to turn it invisible. So
Okay, so
Let me drive it. Let me drive it through the gates.
okay, give me a piloting check, please, Blaz. As you merge the ass with the local traffic, you try and kind of inconspicuously blend in with the local traffic, and we're going to see how well that goes.
It's a 15.
That's a 15. The driving customs here are pretty familiar from other places you've visited or lived over the years. You know, like you can't translate every sign, but you can kind of see how the place operates, and you fairly discreetly drift into the busy traffic between the city and the ports, and start to pass under the very large spire gate to the north of the settlement. And as you emerge through the walls, as you're passing the customs facility, you see a myriad of races. You do see a strong local law enforcement contingent. They are well armed. Clearly, I mean, as you would expect for essentially an airport. But as you enter the city, the sort of police presence softens, and you start to see the hustle and bustle of Kota Bebas. You start to drive past tall tower blocks. It's modern, but there is a slight ramshackleness to it. I mean, these are huge buildings, and there's clearly, you know, it's a busy city, but there's a kind of chaotic energy to this place. You know, there's almost like a hint of Kowloon to it. You know, the infrastructure seems like a mixture of high end and like hastily rigged. It's got a kind of rough and ready appeal, but it is bustling. It is colourful, and there is it's busy. Lots and lots of people around, lots of traffic, and you see all sorts of vendors and domiciles, and particularly the residential buildings it seems like small is the order of the day for residences, but they are stacked high, kind of New Yorky.
I mean, most people here are Isoki, right? So they don't need that. The house is that big, surely.
You do see a lot of Isoki. You see a lot of humans. You see a lot of Vesk. You see, just on the way in, a handful of pretty much every race you know, plus some you don't recognise. It's clear that there are a lot of travellers that pass through here. As you make your way down through the city, it takes a little while. You've got to sort of navigate your way through quite, you know, the bustling traffic and big crossings full of people, but you head straight down through the city, and you emerge in, I suppose, what could be considered the central square of the city. Very large, open, concrete clad with various outcroppings for people to sit on. There are some statues. There's it kind of seems to be like a kind of municipal gathering place with not much in the way of buildings. It's kind of framed on all sides by tall buildings, but this is very much an open space and seems to be kind of like a multi-purpose kind of place to meet up, a good waypoint for people to say, we'll meet you there. You do see an awful lot of small vendors, hustlers, tourists, and everything else you can imagine. Kind of, I suppose, to carry on the New York analogy, you're kind of like Times Square, or Tiananmen Square even, you know, it'd be big, but open. And, this... there are some traffic restrictions, though, so it is pedestrianised, so you kind of either have to disappear into the twisting streets of Kota Bebas, or perhaps find somewhere to park around here and continue on foot.
There's got to be a parking lot around here, right? Surely.
Look for somewhere to park.
Someone get on Marianas maps.
Can we check on our personal comms units? They're like little computers, aren't they?
You can, yeah. Give me, in fact, Ormagander, give me a computers check.
Oh no. Ormagander mashes his fist and breaks his PC.
He goes from normally using it to having
12.
never used it before in his life.
12.
12.
In which case, you actually managed to find not a bad little spot. It looks relatively secure, certainly in comparison to some of the other places you've seen, and it'll be a pretty reasonable rate of 8 credits an hour.
Oh, that's pennies. Brilliant.
So yeah, you drop the ass off in the car park, little underground bay. Leave your chit with the attendant and clock in. It's about noon. Let's go on kind of Earth equivalent time. It's noon.
Remember where we were parked, okay? I don't want to lose the ass. I'm pretty sure Clem and Yara would be pissed.
So, gang, what next?
Lead on, Captain.
I haven't got any irritating NPCs to boss you around and railroad you, so you have to work this out for yourselves.
I mean the square in the middle looked
Promising.
yeah. I mean surely
Open, dangerous.
well open. I'm sure if it's open, it's less dangerous, right? You know.
We can stick to the edges, to the shadows, if you like.
We'll find
I
you
will. You guys.
a tree to stand under. It'll be fine. But yeah, let's just check this place out. We don't know what we're dealing with here. We haven't been here before.
So, as you approach the square, like I say, you realise this is a popular social gathering place here on Marianas. You said you wanted to keep an eye out for any Vesk you saw around Face.
Yeah, any particularly shady-looking Vesk or I don't know. I don't want to discriminate, you know.
In fact, give me a perception check.
That's some damn racism, man. I expected better.
Perception. How perceptive am I? 15.
15.
I'm 15 perceptive.
You are keeping your eyes peeled. Clearly, you're a bit slightly on edge after the encounter on the way here, knowing the plan that you've put into place, keeping an eye out for particularly shifty-looking Vesk. You do notice as you look around that while it's by no means everybody, a good proportion of seemingly the locals, maybe not less so the tourists, but a good chunk of the locals do seem to be lightly armed. It's definitely kind of like an open carry state. Let's put it that way.
Frontier town.
It's not ridiculous. But you notice some irons on people's hips here and there. Certainly more so than you noticed in the bustling streets of Absalom, for instance. So it does seem to be a slightly more armed populace. And you notice, while there are plenty of Vesk around, everybody going around there about their day-to-day business, you do notice on the way from the car park to the square, and as you make your way around the square, the occasional couple of Vesk, 2 or 3 at a time, very occasional, who look, they're not shopping and they're not socialising. They are looking pretty gruff and unapproachable, and seem to be kind of more so than usual.
Again with your racism.
More so than usual, and they seem to be scanning the area, scanning the crowds a bit more than the rest, but they are not wearing law enforcement uniforms. But they're looking around in the way you would expect police to look around. And the arms that they are carrying are kind of conspicuously chunky in comparison to everybody else's.
Okay, because I'm sure they will find us at some point if they're looking around at the crowds. Yeah, I just want to make sure if any of them see us or Ormanganda and start making moves, I want to be ready.
Okay, so you're going to just basically, like, anytime you see a group like that, you're going to be giving them a wide berth, keeping an eye on what they're up to.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
And I mean, you're good at tracking people, being invisible. If we need to, I'm going to need you to slip around and maybe get the jump on them. Just shank him in the back, yeah? Just shank him with a shiv. Shiv him with shank.
So as you guys,
Stabby shank, not shooty pew.
Yeah, we want it to be
the
quiet.
street version of.
Yeah.
as you guys are strolling around the square, just sort of taking in the sights here, you periodically will come across a group of people sitting around chatting on the sort of stone benches that are dotted around all over here, and you'll occasionally wander through a relatively kind of pungent cloud of yellowish smoke, kind of yellowish bluey smoke, and you get this kind of fairly thick scent in your nostrils as you stroll past. It doesn't take long being here on Marianas to notice that there are like pockets of people around using these sort of small kind of pocket-sized mask vapes, which you can only assume is the nebula root you know so much about now. So it's clearly being smoked openly, not by no means by everybody. It's a small percentage, but you pick this waft up kind of as you mooch your way through the square, and keeps just occasionally just setting your nostril hairs off. You also notice that there are a range of statues and various pieces of civic art dotted through the square. One of the ones you come to appears to be a memorial with approximately 40 or 50 names on it. From as you look through the names, you would be able to tell that these were clearly it was clearly a very diverse group.
What does the memorial look like, Jay?
It is somewhat abstract stone sculpture with elements of metal running through it. There is a kind of twisted latticey pattern on the base, and it has some of the local tongue on it. I don't think any of you speak the language of this planet. But yeah, you just have a.
No, I speak Common Vesk. Skittermander.
There doesn't
I've got
on the
common, draconic, triaxian.
on the statue itself. There is no common writing, apart from the lettering of common is used for the names.
The Yosoki language, right? Surely.
It is not Yosoki language either. It's a kind of local pidgin. So yes, it's clearly been done in the sort of native pidgin. But you can tell it's a memorial from the names, and there are dates on there as well.
Are there any locals around it, Jay?
Yeah.
Ask what it is.
Yeah, there's plenty of people around. Yeah. Sorry, Ellie, you had a question.
Oh no, I was just going to say, are the dates recent or are they not recent?
The dates, as you work it out, it would have been around about 25 years ago.
Just after Claire and Yara left. Coincidence? I think not.
Jay, I'm going to collar one of the locals and just say to them, "What is this?"
Oh, it's the memorial. It's been here for a long time now. It's a memorial there was from a terrorist attack.
Can you tell me what happened?
Well, it was from back in the days when Marianas wasn't as quite as pleasant as it is now. There was an awful lot of gang fighting. The local Bajak were destroying the city. There was a sizable bombing here in the square, and the memorial is to honor the fallen.
Do they know who launched the attack?
Well, it was known to come from the Bajak.
Bajak. Who are the Bajak?
You say, the gangsters.
Which gangsters?
Oh, well, there are many. Not as many as there used to be, though, I'm glad to say.
Any we should be on the lookout for? We don't want to get robbed or anything.
Well, obviously they are still very dangerous. However, they don't tend to bother. You must be off-worlders. Are you off-worlders?
Yeah. We we have friends who told us to visit the Rouge Saloon.
Oh, the Rouge Saloon.
We're here to visit the Rouge Saloon.
Well, I hope you brought your pocketbooks, huh?
I'm sure Clara's got hers. Clara,
I always have books in my pockets.
There you go. See, we're all set.
Well, you don't the off-worlders don't seem to have much trouble with the Bajak anymore. They seem to be more intent on fighting and squabbling with one another. Things have quietened down somewhat over the last sort of 20 years or so.
Well, that's good to hear, but just in case, is there any places we should avoid?
The person you're talking to sort of starts kind of just glancing around a bit furtively. It's like, well, I don't think I know anything about that. Certainly, it's wise to avoid the southwest quarter after dark. It can be a little rough.
Okay.
But I don't know any specifics.
No, thank you. Good information. Thank you. We just want to stay safe, and we've heard there can be some trouble here. So
Well, yes, you be sure to watch your belongings. We're a friendly city, but certainly at night it can get a bit rowdy.
Oh yeah, thanks. We'll look out.
You may come across some people trying to sell you narcotics. That is one thing that the tourists do deal with. So my advice would be to politely decline.
I will take that under advisement.
Yes.
Ormanganda lights up his little boy pipe while the guy's telling him to decline.
The person you're talking to doesn't it. So obviously they catch the whiff of it, but they don't really kind of react in a. There's no kind of taken abackness or really even curiosity. It's just like.
It's just passé, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ormanganda takes his pipe and sort of points it at the memorial again and says, "Can you tell me which of the Barjac launched the attack specifically? Do you know?"
They all blamed each other, of course. Everyone has a theory, but what we realized as a city was that the Barjac en masse were the problem.
So, the perpetrators were never apprehended?
I'm afraid not. However, many Bajak died over the following years in the chaotic years. Hopefully they met a just end.
So, you would say there was a war, a gang war?
Well, I was very young at the time. Wasn't really following the Hollows, but that's it in a nutshell. Yes.
Thank you. You have been very helpful.
Well, you're welcome. I must get on with my day, but enjoy your time on Marianas and do take care.
Oh, where's the closest lizard on stick vendor? Actually, one last question. Sorry.
Ah, yes.
Columbo style. One last thing.
There's a. Well, I'm on something of a diet. I have to avoid them these days, but there's a rather excellent vendor just over there on the corner of the square.
Thank you.
My advice,
Have a good day.
if you've not had it before, would be to go for the spicy sauce.
Oh, spicy sauce. Oh, yeah. I know about the spicy sauce. You're a good man. Good man.
You're welcome. Take care.
Goodbye. So, guys, we are going to the southwest part of the city at night time. That's all. That's what we all got about. That's what we all got out of that conversation, right?
Wait, that, and we're about to start another gang war that could go on for several decades and get lots of innocent people killed.
No. This one's going to be ended very quickly by us.
Ormanganda looks confused at the fact that she sounds like she.
Oh no, sorry, that was out of
problems with her
character.
conscience.
That was Ellie,
that
not
was
she.
Completely out of character. I was just kind of worried, like.
Ormanganda arches his eyebrow. and he's like,
No. Obviously, I've like been breathing in way too much of your. Oh no, I don't give a shit. Sorry. You're giving me an identity crisis. Stop it.
No, now that he's empathic, he's getting these weird thoughts coming on to you about, is it really okay to start restart a 25-year gang war? And he's like, what?
I really like that idea, by the way. I really like the idea that you're like starting to think about the social implications of what you do, just because you're a bit baked. This is great character growth. I love it. Right.
There is no growth.
So two things is I'm sorry if I missed this, but where is the Rouge Saloon within the city?
The Rouge Saloon is in the southeast of the city.
Okay, so it's in the southeast, so it's not in the dodgy quarter. So I suggest that we go and get some sticks
Wait,
and
where was the
spiders with
dodgy
spiders.
quarter?
Southwest.
Southeast. Oh, wait,
Southwest was
what?
the dodgy bit.
Southwest.
Me and Ellie are both great at directions, guys.
Oh my god, it's like,
Hands on the clock, everybody.
are you drunk again? I suggest we get some lizards on sticks, and then I suggest we go to the Rouge Saloon. What do you think?
This is why I don't handle navigation.
Well, I'm just thinking it might be too early for the Rouge Saloon.
They might have there's a happy hour, and there's probably a half-elf discount at this time, which will make Belas happy.
Oh,
He's
that is a good point. All right, well, let's hurry there then. And then at night
He's
time
very
we'll go.
budget-minded.
At night time we can go check out the southwest. We'll be sneaky about it. See if we can get in with the gangs, because we need to really. We need to find the Green Street gang so that we can be on their side when the war starts.
Jay, these vests we've seen walking around, do they have any? Are there any other? Well, two questions. Are there any other similar groups wandering around with the same kind of what would the right word, demeanor? Have we seen any goblins?
Give me a perception
Orcs?
check.
Yeah, because I was just looking for Vesk.
9. Sorry, not very good.
No.
So was he staring at this statue and just going,
The closest.
A group of orcs walk past you.
Well,
it's just like,
the closest groups you see in terms of posture and demeanor as they move around the city would be the law enforcement.
but the Hobbit sleeve has addled Ormangander's mind already. He's not noticing anything.
What if
Taking the
the
hobbits to
third
Iceland.
group? What if the third gang are the law enforcement?
Well, they do say that the New York police were the biggest gang in New York and probably still are.
Maybe that's why our GM keeps making New York references.
References to New York. But so the Vesk, Jay, are they? Is there anything marking them out? I know they're hanging around in groups and they're clearly switched on and well armed. But do they have any sort of tags, colours, anything like that, or is their clothing just nondescript?
No identifying features, no kind of like gang colours or anything that you can identify.
Yeah, no sort of tattoo markings or anything like that.
Nothing that would,
This is the thing.
nothing that you've spotted so far.
I don't want to approach them. I want them to approach us, because that's much more.
We should look like we're really, really touristy and get them to try and come and sell us some drugs.
Let's start taking pictures of each other with the statues and stuff.
Three of us look like veritable
Good
murder
idea.
machines. How touristy do you think we can look?
I can look pretty touristy.
No, you
No.
can, but she and I can't, and neither can the fucking 10-foot red dragon.
Blaz could be a pretty good tourist with his
All you gotta
stick.
do is strike a pose.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that'd be fine.
kind of disappears back to the
Pretend
to
to
the ass.
hold up the giant statue.
Comes back in a pair of shorts and some like flip flops and white socks, and like a big hat, and starts wandering around with that going, "Ooh."
It's worth a try as we walk onto the lizard and stick vendor captain if you think it's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do some vending.
No,
How do we? I don't even like. Fair enough. I just don't get how we managed to look touristy.
Clara's got a camera, right?
You can
Oh,
take
you can
images
take-
on your PCUs.
We can do the tourist, pose, take a picture, guys. Or
why don't the three of you that look scary go and get some lizard on sticks, and I'll take a picture of Clara by the fountain, and
You're one of the 3 people that look scary, she.
I don't think she looks scary.
As soon as the photos start getting taken, couple of people come over. They just like, well, there's a little Yosoki skitters over. He's like, hi, So, the sun is high in the sky. You want water? Water? Comes with these little receptacles of. It's got a little. Almost like almost like a granny trolley, just filled with water receptacles.
Like a water vendor.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. I'm thirsty.
Okay. 5. Just starts pouring you one. There you go. 5 credits.
Do I look like I'm paying 5 credits?
Retrieves the water. Water, 5 credits.
Hi.
5 credits.
Do you have any other drinks that aren't water?
Well, I can find. What do you want?
Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate. My cousin gets just disappears off and starts talking on his PCU. He's away for a minute or two.
So, alright.
I'm a
Clara,
demanding tourist.
Clara, you stick here. We'll go get lizards on sticks. Blaz, do you wanna come with us or you wanna stick with the girls?
Everybody
Blaz
shout
will
Blaz. He's
Blaz!
out. James!
He's gone!
There he is.
Hey!
He's back. Hello, mate. Do you want to stand here looking like a tourist, or do you want to go and buy some lizards on sticks? You're in the square. You're live on Twitch.
Sticks.
Thrilling gaming here tonight in the Secret Lab, folks. Edge of the seat stuff. You love it.
But I'm not sure who should be most offended in this equation, you, Jay, or the rest.
I'm so
James
over
is
it.
like, I've had enough of their bullshit. I'm having a nap. Fuck that.
I think it's the rest of us.
I'm sick of you guys.
It was a long drive.
Wandering around. Yeah.
Blaz, we need you to shock someone and then act very nonchalant about it.
That's a really dangerous thing to say.
What's happening?
No, let's go buy some.
What's happening is Connor's chaotic captaining is kicking in. That is what is happening clearly.
Let's go buy some
I like
lizards on
that
sticks, guys.
Okay.
It's just gonna
As you stroll away from the group and start heading over towards the lizards and sticks vendor, over in the corner, the hot tip you got from the local, the little Yosoki comes back and goes, "My cousin, he can get you hot chocolate. You come with me? You come with me?"
Sure, we'll come with you, Clara.
Again. Gonna have a kidnap.
I'm going with
again.
I'm going with her this time.
You ladies come with me?
Yeah, just to clarify, as long as she's going with her, that's
Where?
fine. Otherwise,
Just
Ormungandr will
wait.
be shouting about leashes
Come with
and not
me.
going
No,
into the light.
My cousin, he has a shop. He tells me he has hot chocolate. I have not heard of this, but he says he has hot chocolate. He's down. He's down. It's just down into town over here.
Not
And
down any
Big
weird dark
Clara.
alleys.
Just in
Yeah.
town. Just over there.
Okay, just checking. I've had some. You know what? Never mind. Let's guess. Hot chocolate.
Lovely place. Lovely place. You will
There's a
will
bright
enjoy.
light. We know we're screwed.
My cousin sells hot chocolate in the southwest quarter, but only after dark.
This strange little Yosoki starts scampering ahead of you and leading you into a sort of twisty warren of buildings. Give me
Clara puts her
a
hand on her
give me a
gun.
survival check, both of you.
What?
Really?
Why is survival check?
Who knew
You'll
hot
see.
chocolate was that dangerous?
Not a bad roll.
Because you're
What
trying
is
to
it?
survive.
How did we do, sorry?
That's a dirty 20 for me.
Dirty 20.
27.
You very quickly realise you are being led down some streets. Well, the survival check was because you've identified where the sun is and where north. You're going southwest. You're definitely going southwest, and you were disappearing into a somewhat shady-looking part of town where there don't appear to be many nice coffee shops or hot chocolate
It
shops.
wasn't going to be down a dark alley.
It's not alleys.
Dark, you can still see the sun. It's fine. It's like north, right, Clara? It's about north.
No, this is definitely not north. This is southwest.
It's fine.
Keep up, keep up. It's very good hot
Clara's
chocolate.
going to point her gun at him.
Whoa!
Nice.
Why have you escalated this?
Oh, what's
What are you trying to pull here, buddy?
You wanted hot chocolate? It's hot chocolate.
And you're taking us towards the roughest part of town to get hot chocolate?
It's where my cousin lives. Give me a sense motive check. You can assist with this if you want to.
Yeah, I will do. 26.
So that takes my total up to 25.
This whole situation reeks.
Yeah, I figured.
But it was just so tempting.
Could have found.
Sorry, it's just it would be quality.
I must
if you got
answer.
kidnapped.
Can I answer? Please.
On speaker.
Hello, cousin. Oh, no, my speaker's not working. Oh,
Fuck your pistol.
you've run out of hot chocolate. That's such a shame. Well, never mind. Thank you anyway.
She's just gonna like slowly lower her aim towards his crotch.
My cousin, he has run out of the hot chocolate. I'm so sorry. I don't think I can help you.
Fascinating. And she's just gonna uncock her gun and put it back in her holster.
Would you like some? Please take some water. Welcome to Marianas. Please take one each.
Thanks.
I must sell my water now. And he just takes off.
I was gonna
Like
say,
trundling in his little cart.
oh,
Just
man.
does one.
I wanted,
got
to
free
try and pick
water.
his I wanted to try and pick his pocket this free man.
I thought you were just gonna kill him. To be honest.
I so wanted you guys to end up in some shady, choky back room.
I thought it would
I
be
don't want to
helpful.
get into a fight without the whole group.
It's like if you had been kidnapped over a hot chocolate, that would be like a new level.
Peak
of
Clara there.
Clara, wouldn't
Never
it?
gonna get kidnapped.
Clara loves her hot chocolate, but she's not that stupid.
It's like if an AI tried to write a Clara storyline.
Yeah. She's not that dumb.
Okay. Meanwhile, the boys are finally start to loom upon this cart. It's busy. It's just absolutely packed. And as you round the corner, you see a Kasathan just going to town, making lizards on sticks like there's no tomorrow.
Hey, Stickman,
You want stick?
we want stick.
Stick? How many sticks?
How many sticks, guys?
Stick. Stick.
20 stick.
26. Okay,
20
26. It'd be 21 sticks. It's in threes. What was in threes?
5 spiders. 6 spiders. Spiders.
No spiders here. No spiders. Just sticks.
Spicy sauce.
Spicy sauce. He starts
Spicy
rummaging up. These lizards are not the same as the other lizards you've seen, but it's like there seems to be a universal thing about these lizard on stick vendors. It's like whatever the local lizard is. Local lizard, stick, hot. That is the standard recipe. Spicy sauce. So yes, he rattles through. That's going to be
I can see where
so
this
for 3. So 70 credits.
Noble Dixtown, we're preferred shoppers. Your cousin on
Farabarium.
the Foul Barium.
Farabarium.
I don't know what you're talking about, crazy off-worlder. I have no cousin.
Well, that's
I'm an independent
astonishing-
contractor. What are you talking about? 70 credits.
That's an astonishing family resemblance.
Wait, are we being
That's
racist?
racist.
He must be an attractive man.
Blaz,
Very
Blaz,
attractive.
I
Blaz
thought
leaning
he, I
in.
thought he was rather ugly.
Oh my god.
Guys, no. If you say he's ugly, he's going to charge us more.
I know. I'm not saying that.
70 credits. I handed 70 credits.
Sticks, sauce, enjoy.
Thank you.
You have 20 lizards on sticks. Marianas lizard. And with that, we are going to take a quick break for a lizard on a stick ourselves. We'll be a couple of minutes, and we'll be back with some more white-hot sci-fi RPG action that will keep James awake all the way through till 11 p.m. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a mo. So, just while waiting for the return of Sam, thoughts so far? Anything you want to particularly pursue? Just it helps my little GM brain to start rolling early.
I want to follow the Isoki.
You just want to go
I
after
kind of
the street
do
scammer.
too. I want to see who he runs to.
He's long gone. He be long gone.
I think we should keep an eye out for him later.
I'm sulking with you for the rest of the episode, Clara.
I mean, we could still go down this road.
You were
They think we've made them and that we're gonna fuck off. Now that we've scared him off, we could sneak up on them and see what happens.
You were so happy
That
with her when
is
she
in our
whipped her
power.
piece out, though.
And like,
Clara's not taking any shit right now, but that doesn't mean that we
I
can't
liked it.
still pursue them and like kind of like a fake out. Like they think we've made them, so we're gonna go, but actually we're still gonna go in that direction. We could like pace the area for later.
I think we did.
I'm down with that. Boys aren't around to tell us what to do. Let's get chaotic up in this shit.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I would say, presuming the chaps have been tucking into the first few lizards on sticks on a bench somewhere on the square. She
black yet?
and
I have eaten 7
Okay.
lizards on sticks.
7. Okay, thank you for the update.
7.
I'm kind of disappointed with myself. that I didn't
Ormungand has eaten 8.
She and Clara make their way back from their near escapades and rejoin the
don't.
boys.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Screw
not?
you.
Were you not
No.
listening to our plan?
We just made like a whole plan.
I don't think that was a real plan.
I thought you were railroading them away from
What?
disaster there.
When do I never have real plans? My plans is
escaped- they've
always
escaped-
You left me and Ellie alone
40%.
together.
Okay.
They've escaped from
Okay.
under the shadow of the Dracriarchy, and now they've tasted freedom. And
Okay.
they're gone.
I'm going to need you guys to break the habit of a lifetime and try not to talk over each other in this bit. But what do you want to do?
I think we should go just like a kind of survey the area around that he was taking us towards very, very carefully.
Okay.
And perhaps get a glimpse of what might have been waiting for us had we not called him on his bullshit.
Okay. So you begin to stroll through the southwestern quarter of Kota Bebas. You realise that this is most definitely a more down-rent area of town. It is a mixture of industrial units. The vehicles are significantly kind of less well-maintained, less people out on the streets. It's a lot quieter down here, and there's a bit of a warren of twisting tunnels and streets and subways, you notice that there's quite a lot of vandalism and street art dotted through this part of the city. A variety of people sort of just, sort of sat out on their front steps, but it is quieter. There is a kind of like that sort of slightly still tension in the air that you sometimes get in the dodgy part of town. Certainly, you feel eyes on you as you're walking around. You don't see any sight of the Yosoki. You do notice a couple more of the little enclaves of Vesk that look a bit more business-like. They seem to be in a higher concentration in this area.
In terms of the graffiti, is there any kind of repeating pattern or image or anything that we might notice?
Like tags.
I get you. Give me... Oh, hang on a second. Let me just get my piece of paper for a second. I've just realised I've left my notes here.
Just artful drawings of Vesk Cloaca.
On the floor currently.
Graphically detailed.
Graphically detailed Vesk Cloaca.
What would that even look like?
I imagine some sort of reptilian circle orifice.
Yeah, just a hole.
Yeah, just a hole with scales on it.
Yeah.
Much like a bird cloaca, but with scales.
Anyway, I'm not crying. I've got something in my eye. Genuinely, the conversation that made me cry.
If you were crying, considering this conversation, it would be entirely reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a culture check,
Thank you
please.
for acknowledging that. Oh.
Culture check. If you want, if one of you wants to do the check and the other wants to do the
you
assist.
want to do it, and I'll assist you. I
I
don't really have much culture.
My culture's +4.
I'm
Same.
pretty cultured.
Oh boy.
11.
That's all you need. That's +2 to Clara's roll.
I think. That's. Wait, math is hard. That's 13.
Plus the 2.
That's 13.
Oh, including the 2.
Yeah. I rolled a 7.
It's
So I also got 11.
it's multi-layered, and you recognize there's clearly like a bunch of identifiable tags that do repeat through these streets. But as far as making any more sense of them than that, you're not really gonna sort of crack it. But you can tell that there is sort of the best you can tell is there seem to be like a handful of repeating symbols dotted around, but yeah.
I take my little book out, my little notepad, and just sketch some of them down.
Okay.
Then for fear of, like, I don't know, giving you an aneurysm, we should probably start
head
heading
back,
Clara.
Yeah.
I thought I was handling
We
it
didn't-
relatively well.
We didn't fall in. We didn't see where they were trapping us to, but we did see more Vesk than usual, and we did get some graffiti patterns. I think that's. We have at least some
accomplished.
clues to present.
And we're still alive.
And I didn't get kidnapped.
Hey! Cheers, everybody.
Reki, girls.
Yeah.
Good Reki. Best Reki yet.
Chin
for the
chin.
Former captain, particularly.
To Zoe's freedom.
Yeah, I got to come back.
Zoe not being kidnapped
Yeah.
Long continue.
at the start of an adventure.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way, pick your way back through the winding, twisting alleyways of the southwesterly quarter of the city, and soon reunite with your crewmates who are tucking into a nice little picnic.
There's only 6 sticks left, guys.
Ormaganda offers each of them a lizard on a stick.
Oh, thanks, Warm.
Including Blaz. Blaz is
So-
also offered a lizard on a stick.
I thought he'd already taken some lessons on us.
Well, I ate 7, you ate
I was-
8, so there's only 6 left.
Blas was having a little nap while you were eating.
I'm full, you guys.
A little
Well,
siesta.
Blas is napping because Ormagander is concerned that he needs to keep his strength up to access eventually Osha's eggs. He's like, put a lizarding stick on his mouth, and then put another one because he doesn't really understand how human physiology works. So he's just like,
So,
yeah,
we
he's just
followed
like-
we followed a Yosoki down an alleyway.
What have we told you about alleyways, Clara?
and following Yosoki.
You never
Don't
told us
worry,
anything about
I
following
think
your
I
focus.
scared the shit out of him with my pistol. I didn't shoot
It was
him.
very scary.
He ran off.
But literally scared the shit.
Well, but
out
now
no,
he knows your
sadly
face,
no.
so we have to kill him.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But there were more Vesk in that area. They looked
And
more
some cool
serious than the other Vesk.
symbols.
That's yeah, and I drew these things, and she like gets out her little notepad, and it's like, do any of you recognize any of these symbols?
So what you're saying is it's
Check.
scarier. Mm.
Yes.
Uh,
It's a-
It'll be
yes.
much better after night. Much better in the dark. You'll be able to see less scary.
What do these symbols look like, Jay? That I'm sketched.
kind of a complex graph.
Best dick.
Give me. Well, Blaz wants to do a culture check.
Best cloaca.
Blaz wants to do a culture check. So if you want to assist, anyone can. Any of
Yeah.
the guys who haven't already had a swing at it can assist if you want.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll
No,
assist.
no,
What's going
no,
on?
no need. 21.
21.
Oh.
Is that a nat 20?
No, it's a 17.
It's okay. It's dirty 21. And
Sorry, it's what?
21.
Yeah,
Give-
but
well-
what was that you rolled?
17.
It was an
it was an
Ormagander.
Ormagander, yeah. Can I get your assist rolls though as well, please? Did you beat 10 on the culture check? Either of you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, is this a culture check?
Yes.
Well, I've got a +7, so hopefully I beat a 10. 25.
I got 11.
Okay, so that's 25 total then with the 2 assists. That is enough. Blaz, being computer literate as he is, as part of his culture check, scans the local net for any image matches, and you manage to sort of fairly quickly decipher that there are the most prominent iconography down in the southwest quarter is that of the Green Street gang. And in fact, with that 25, you actually realise that Green Street does actually exist in the southwest quarter of this city. So that is. So you have
They're an
a.
imaginative bunch, the Vesk, aren't they?
Is anyone getting GTA San Andreas vibes?
I pull
We
from
are-
everywhere.
Tiny bit.
I pull from everywhere.
Vine Street.
James, we are the poets of the drift.
You also realise that the others are. You don't get kind of a clear indication as to their exact meaning, but through your research, you work out that a lot of the other repeating signs are essentially kind of territory markers and warnings and so on. So there is one other symbol that you detect, which is that of the sharpened tooth.
Were you so
However, when pointing this out to Clara would be in a position to point out to you that they were harder to pick out, they were older, and had been sprayed over, mainly. So you were seeing more traces of the Sharpened Tooth's logo, rather than it being very prominent, fresh paint, as it were.
Green Street gang are moving on up.
Mm.
What's the sharpened tooth? Sorry.
Sharpened Tooth
That
is
is
another
so
gang, right?
They're an
Oh,
Asoki
the
gang.
other,
So
yeah.
there was the Garza Clan, the Green Street Gang, and the Sharpened Tooth,
Sharp and Tooth. Okay.
and then some like small insignificant ones that nobody really cares about.
The Garza are the goblins, I think that's right, isn't it? Goblins and orcs, was it? Or just goblins?
I thought Garza were Yusoki.
No, Garza.
Oh no,
Garza
they are
goblins.
goblins. Sorry.
So, I have a suggestion. The whole framing of the Green Street Gang relies on the Garza Clan believing that the Green Street Gang are responsible for intercepting their drugs. So, ideally,
Oh, God.
we need to get the drugs into the hands of the Green Street Gang so that they can, flood the market, distribute them, do whatever they want,
Yeah, but the issue with this is that we just so happen to have the exact amount of drugs that the Garza Clan are missing, and if we sell that exact amount of drugs to the Green Street Gang, and then the Garza Clan come and say, "Oh, we've lost this exact amount of drugs," and the Green Street Gang say, "Oh, well, these guys actually just sold us this exact amount of drugs like
Hold up.
yesterday."
Hold up.
Is that going to happen at their
who
annual
says-
general meeting? They're not just going to talk to each other about it, are they?
I feel like
Who
as prominent
says-
gangs on this planet, there will be some channel of communication, and it will be we will be caught out if we try and do that.
Alright, calm your scaly ass down. Who says we have to sell it to them?
He's just always racist.
And who says they ever have to know that we're associated with these drugs? Who's to
Plant
say?
them.
Who's to exactly?
I like this idea
Okay,
a lot.
but if we're gonna plant them, we're gonna need to be extra sneaky about it. And this is This is a very large quantity, literally a cargo ship full of drugs. It's
I
not
don't-
going to be easy to
It doesn't have
plant.
to be all of
We,
them.
we don't have to
Just
plant
some of
all.
them.
Yeah, she gets it. She is
I
like
don't know
in
why I'm
tune.
understanding you today. That's
I was
about
gonna say she's sneaky, but I'm not sure she can sneak all of the drugs, like all of these crates. But yeah, no, I suppose it's a good idea. So you want to plant some of these drugs in their territory.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting plan.
Half of them do. Half of us do that. The other half go and tip off the Garza Clangs. Clang, Garza Clang. Wait.
Garza Clan.
How would we know? Right? How would we know?
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
take.
thing.
We're gonna
If we
take
go tell
along.
the Garza, if we go and tell the Garza clan, they're going to be like, "How do you know this?"
We're
Police
gonna
performance.
we're gonna take along. We're gonna go to the Garza Clan with a complaint, and we're gonna take along a strung out
Right.
friend who was sold some hyper pure shit, and we've been able to prevent him from buying from anyone. But now now this new Green Street Gang source is pushing out some like really strong stuff, and that's
How
what
do
we're
you know
gonna we're gonna
it's strong?
complain. I don't know. I'm
why
bullshitting
would-
now.
You
I mean, no,
protest it.
there's an interest. There's the kernel of an interesting plan there, but why would we go and complain to them, and why would they care? I get what the plan is to then get hold of some of those. And go, these are our drugs. What is going on?
Well, we're gonna need someone credible and local to make this work. And the only credible local location I can think of is the Rouge Saloon.
I was waiting
this-
for the other shoe to drop.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it, right? The best thing for us to do
Go to the
Is-
brothel.
is wait until they start fighting. That's the best, because then we can offer our services.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then we go full Yojimbo. But
Because then we don't
Okay.
have any sort of like the gangs obviously are fighting. The Green Street guys are like, we don't have the drugs, and the Garza Clan are like, but you must have the drugs because you stole the drugs. And then once they start fighting, we'll go to the Green Street gang and be like, you guys need some help with this?
yes,
Pretty
And,
much. Yeah.
That is a good idea. What if we planted quite a large quantity within the Green Street Gang's territory, but take some out and about with us that we can kind of plant on individual members of the Green Street Gang, many of whom may be at the Rouge Saloon, depending on
so-
where that's located again.
Wait, again, without any kind of insult to your insane stealth skills. I just feel like maybe we're doing a little bit of strategic overreach if you're going to try and plant drugs on a load of pissed off Vesk. And it could possibly go south.
I didn't say that I was going to do it.
Hold on.
We also didn't
Who
say
else
that.
is going to do it?
Blaz wants to make an attempt to plant one of the palmed tabs on Ormungandr.
I
Whilst,
wouldn't mind planting some on that.
While he's making his point.
and whilst Oliver plays
Yeah.
in the background.
You've got to pick a pocket or two.
Are you? So you're trying to reverse pickpocket Ormungandr with some pills right now?
Correct.
Give me a sleight of hand check against Sam's passive perception.
26.
I think that's gonna do it.
That must have been my.
I get +9 to sleight of hand.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah, no, my perception is. So what do I add my +6 for my perception to, Jay?
Tell you what, give me a
don't know
roll.
what my-
Give me a roll.
So my perception
I keep
is
forgetting
19.
that passive perception is a 5e thing.
It's 19, so he's beaten me.
There
so
you go.
He's definitely.
Blaz, you successfully and stealthily palm some nebutabs onto Ormungandr's person. How many?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay. Cool.
Just the one,
Ormungandr.
actually. Just the one. Just the one.
Ormungandr. Check your inside pocket.
Ormungandr puts his clawed hand into his inside pocket and goes, I can't find anything. He goes, oh, there's a tiny pill.
No!
And he eats it.
You've taken the pill.
Yeah.
You've taken a nebutab. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me just jot this in
Just
my
show
notes.
some discipline. What's wrong with you?
Tell you what, someone's on holiday, aren't they? Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
Lars, why did you do that?
I was trying to prove a point, and I should have explained myself
You
better. I
chose the
forgot.
wrong person to put the pill on.
know. I am a spectacular idiot.
Now we are a giant lizard down for whatever the fuck is gonna happen.
That was a very
tonight.
silly mistake from a very,
have a
very,
broken
very
lizard.
smart man.
Yeah.
I say to Blaz,
What was that?
I turn to Blaz and I shake my head and say, "You can't. No, give me those. You can't be trusted. Come on, give me."
Oh,
It
I
was
so know what's about to
paracetamol.
happen.
Oh, power of the placebo. It's paracetamol. You had a headache, remember?
Blaz, do you hand them over to Face?
You
He's
feel
demanding them off you now.
Yes. I hand the drugs to Face.
Give them to the captain. Captain,
Fuck.
what are you doing with those nebutabs?
Oh boy.
I eat one.
Of course you do. There it is.
Blaz,
Oh,
And then
I knew it before he'd even said it.
you should know better than to give drugs to the lizard boys.
The Dracoiarchy are off the chain.
Is there ever going to be an instance where Blaz comes into contact with some sort of narcotic and it doesn't end in just
Doesn't
complete
drug
chaos?
someone. No.
You've chosen an interesting line of work in this campaign, I'm going to say.
Clara's just gonna telepathically send a message to She just to say, I'm beginning to reconsider.
this is a strategic move. This is going to benefit our group in the long run, and I'll tell you why.
It's all part of the
Because in Face's mind, knowing the empathic powers of this drug, I feel like this is a perfect time to start the partner bond between me and Ormungandr, so that we become the perfect fighting unit.
plan.
Interesting.
Would
Interesting.
you
Ready
like us
for
to leave
close.
you alone for
I-
that?
Blaz looks from Ormungandr to Face and is just like, I can't believe you've done this.
What does it taste like, Jay?
Not a lot. All you can really taste is the spicy sauce.
Spicy
It's
sauce.
a tablet, so it just goes, it's just chalky. Not much to it. Nothing happening yet. I'll let you know.
The operative word.
I feel like now is the best time to head to the Rouge Saloon.
Oh god.
I've been on this night out before.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me in the slightest.
I know
Dark.
how this ends, Jay.
I think we all do.
Face gander engage.
Right.
It's just like the worst Power Ranger.
I'm just gonna grab Clara and be like, right, okay, you're smart. Think. While they're okay for the minute and they're not doing weird trippy drug shit, how can we make them not do awful things later? Can we tie them up somewhere? Can we disarm
You guys
them?
need to stay out of this because they are
bury them
having
in
this
the
conversation
desert?
away from you. I'll tell you
If
now.
the Rouge Saloon is anything like Madame Dragone's, then they might
So I
have
don't-
restraints.
Apparently, we're not allowed to try and interfere in any way.
No,
Can we
me,
hear them
me,
say
and, me and
those?
Sam can't interfere in
No,
your
Jay meant they're not
conversation.
allowed to interfere with us.
Yeah,
talking-
yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying these guys are having a conversation off to the
are
side, so let them have their conversation for a moment.
If
Just,
the Rouge Saloon is anything like Madame Dragone's, they should probably have some restraints. Or we could just kind of throw them in a room with some scantily clad lizard women, and then Yumi and Blaz can go and investigate the southwest quarter.
Sounds like they're fine on their own for the minute. We should leave them to it.
Yeah. Maybe drug-addled them will like the idea of going and investigating the southwest quarter and killing some people. We'll just
We'll
have
see.
to... Yeah. We'll keep an eye on them.
I just
If
want to
all
say
else
out of
failed.
character.
Titties distract anyone.
When do we not like the idea of killing loads of people? Just
I was just going to say, yeah, what's this?
Drugs can change a person's perspective on life, you know?
I love the
Yeah,
way
no,
that
You...
I love
I
that.
love that I'm the one saying this is the one that's probably had the least experience
That's
with
right,
drugs.
but-
Hey, easy now. Shh.
When we've discovered that it's not it's non, it doesn't give your empathy. It just means that you can. It's just two listeners going. Do you want to kill something? Yeah, I really want to kill something. Did you say that, or did you think it?
I'll tell you when it's kicking in. I've told you. By the way, Dundalk, love the idea of showing the lizard boys to the egg room. Great suggestion!
Oh my god.
Exclamation mark! PR, good idea. Thank you, CB. Right, okay. So what's cracking then, gang?
What time is it?
It's I would say 1:30ish in the afternoon, Earth equivalent time.
Rouge Saloon
Oh,
time.
actually, can we just? I don't want to do the whole fucking shop thing, but can I find one of those outfits? Can I find like a?
Wait,
Can I
what-
just do a culture check and find like a good culturally appropriate outfit?
What do you mean you don't want to do the shop thing?
I do not want to
He
spend an
knows
hour
what
talking to a
happens at
shopkeeper.
vendors.
The reason I come to these sessions. is to do the
We
shop
don't,
thing.
and we don't want you to be racist to the shop.
That's the reason I come to these sessions.
Right, everyone, stop. What particular piece of clothing is it you're looking for?
It's I'm just gonna. It's in. So
It's in
the,
items, right? So give me the.
Yeah, in items, it is type. I don't know, personal. Let me just type in clothes.
Clothing, I think it's in there as if that'll probably give you more
Clothing.
luck.
Okay. Reconfigurable clothing.
Reconfigurable clothing should be.
About 100 credits.
Okay.
And I want to be able to just add one outfit right now that's sort of culturally appropriate.
Yeah, so give me that culture check.
Okay. 19.
That'll do. Yeah. In that case, yes. While you're strolling around the square, venturing just into the other streets, just seeing what you can find. You do manage to find a reconfigurable outfit that seems to be locally appropriate for the sum total of 100 credits. What? Quite the deal.
No.
Can I do the same, Jay, or is there only the one?
No. There's. I mean, this is like I say, it's a bustling port. There's lots of places. The only thing is I will ask. Actually, no, because Facey found the place. So Facey found the place. There's enough reconfigurable clothing for everybody. So if the rest of you want to buy some at 100 credits each, you may. Clothing reconfigurable is what it'll show up as in your inventory if you want to go for that.
Depends what race is the storekeeper.
You can have the 100. Oh, you see, I don't want to shortchange you because you've had a few weeks off. It's not a noir, I'll tell you that.
Everything's a noir when Clara's around. What are you talking about? Her whole life is a noir. It's literally what her character's based off of.
Sorry, that's N-U-A-R for those of you at home. Noir.
Oh.
Blaz feels like there's a Minotaur-shaped hole in the universe.
I know. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
A sense of ennui.
But look, we've got 35 minutes of this session left. Well, the last thing we can do right now is have a vendor stop off. So I will make some time for some shopping for you on Marianas VI, I promise.
Okay.
But we're about to see what race the bartender is at the Rouge Saloon, so, you know.
Who else bought reconfigurable clothing, by the way?
Maybe. Possibly.
Me.
You should definitely do it, She. It'll fit in with your roguey, sneaky, assassin-y kind of vibe.
Everybody getting local togs?
I'm good.
I'm trying to look at I'm trying to find it in the fucking inventory, and I can't. Tab it.
Just search clothing under item in the inventory.
Item.
Yes. Search clothing, and it will reconfigurable level 2, 100 credits apiece.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought I might as well splash out, you know, seeing as we got that advance, or, you know, the late payment.
If we're not doing the full vendor interaction, though, please, guys, if you're buying reconfigurable clothing, please can you give me a bit of an idea as to the vibe you're putting out? When what do you reconfigure it into? What's the look?
Yeah.
Face, we'll start with you.
Mine is very sort of like relaxed chic.
Okay, good. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam, how's Ormangand looking?
Ormangand's clothing is exactly the same as Face's, but
Yeah.
smaller. So it's like a mini me.
Yeah. James, what's Blaz decked out in?
So, he's gone from flamboyant blue suit to kind of scraggy end of his look nerf herder.
Okay, scruffy nerf herder. Yeah. Clara, how's she looking?
Okay. When you say it can be reconfigured into anything, can I reconfigure it into just a duster to go over what she's already wearing? It's like a long duster.
Yeah, you can use it to kind of like largely accessorize your current look. Yeah, that's sure.
Okay, cool. Because, yeah, that's what I'm doing. She's now wearing like a long, dark kind
Cool.
of duster over her regular clothes.
Nice. Yeah, okay. I see it. Ellie, how about she?
Oh, she didn't bother. Not her thing.
Okay. Don't do
Trying to
clothes.
make things easy.
Got better things to. I've got ammo to buy.
Got
Okay.
big ass sniper.
I just always had this idea. I always had this idea in my head that Clara had a duster that but I never had her wear it. So I was like, she just lost it. She lost it in her old shit.
It's the right kind of planet for it. It is a little bit dusty. That's why it's called a duster, right? To keep the dust off. I don't know. Okay.
I guess. I mean, they're like Western attire, so I guess so. Sand and shit.
Yeah.
As you make your way back down the street from the clothing vendor, fascinating and light-hearted interaction you had with them as well. It was the sort of thing you'd be talking about later. You're being. The local clothes seem to have kind of slightly mellowed this, but throughout this, you're kind of relatively consistently being sort of accosted by semi-shifty looking locals. Semi-shifty. Be like, oh, you want some Nebula root? Nebula root? Anyone? Want some nebula root? Anyone?
I don't need it, trust me.
Hey, yeah, so good. Yeah, I know you. You look like you enjoy some nebula root.
Is that to Bilal?
It's to all of you. It's to everyone who's not already declined.
I mean, Ormangander's already smoking his little pipe of nebula root.
Okay, so he definitely points at you then.
I am gonna.
Someone then?
I am also gonna smoke some.
Okay.
I remind you,
I
you've
do
also
have a
taken
personal
actual
supply.
pill form.
Isn't yours a big boy pipe though? Wasn't
Yeah,
yours
I've
the
got a big
boy?
pipe. You've got a little pipe.
Clara's just puffing on her nebula-free vape.
Okay. Is everybody
No,
else?
thanks, man.
Um,
I'm the designated driver.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, you. Yeah, gotta be safe.
His driving isn't safe even when he's sober.
Oh, I like this one.
I just want to like.
Clara's been spending too much time brooding in her room with she.
I feel like poor Balaz / James has received an unfair amount of shit thrown at him this session.
It's been
I feel like this
stick
happens
heavy,
weekly,
yeah.
but it's usually not
Yeah.
my fault. Sorry.
Face, you want to do something?
Love you, James.
Yeah, I just want to say like, if we wanted to get like loads of this, where would we go?
Oh, loads. It's everywhere, you know. Why buy all at once? Why carry it around with you? Little bits at a time.
We wanted if we wanted to pick up a cargo to travel off world, would you know someone who could help us out with buying in bulk?
Because that's not as shady.
They're sort of looking around and they look a bit like shit up, a bit like it's no bueno. You can't move it off world. Keep it here on Marianas.
Obviously,
Where it belongs.
We wanted to have a party out in the desert.
For a few thousand of our friends.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any off-world. I don't do off-world, but you looking for root or?
Yeah.
Well, the best route comes from out of the farms. If you're looking for quantity.
Okay.
You want to head out to the Tanantandas?
Well, if you could just give us a direction, and maybe we'll check it out.
He kind of, even though he's still trying to keep his voice down, he kind of lets quite a hearty little laugh slip out. He's like, the Tanantandas is the Badlands. It wraps around the whole planet. But you want weight of nebula root? Head out to the desert.
Okay.
That's where it grows, man. But hey, there's only 5 of you. I can do 5.
We have a lot of friends.
Oh.
I think we're good for now. But thank you.
Okay, well, you go safe now.
You too.
He just sort of slinks off and starts accosting some other tourists.
Tanantandas.
So if they grow it out there, and it's essentially a big desert, maybe that's where they make it into the other stuff too. Like the harder stuff.
I just got a really, really bad good thought.
Go on.
Another way that we could frame one gang for fucking with the other
Ow.
gang. Burn down some of their crop.
Yes, but we need to find out who it belonged to. That's a really good idea. I like that idea a lot.
Make a note. That is a good idea.
Well, it sounds like we've got some investigating to do.
Clara's getting more and more chaotic with You see what happens when you take her
Spending
out
too
of
much
a
time with
when
me.
when you take her out of a role of responsibility and make her deal with her depression, she's just like, all right, I guess I'll just start fucking with you.
You're going down the Jayven in the face of frost route. I can sense it.
To be
My
fair,
limited
I
empathy
like
is
it.
kicking off at this stage.
Face is a walking flamethrower, so you know he's not opposed to the idea.
You don't even need. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, gang, 1-0.
Yeah. To the Rouge Saloon, everybody.
Yes, bruv.
Okay. Between
Who's still
shopping
burnt,
and
though?
being accosted and all the rest,
Whichever gang it is, they're gonna blame the other one. Pick a field. Oh.
yeah, between shopping and mooching around and touching base with the local dealers, getting lizards on sticks, tailing your Soki and so on. By the time you manage to pick your way through the city to reach the Rouge Saloon, the sun is getting low in the sky, but not set yet. I would estimate that it is around about 5 p.m, something like that.
Happy hour.
You approach as you make your way through Kota Bebas, you realise that the southeastern quarter is very much the entertainment district. Mixture of nice-looking restaurants, cafes, clubs, bars, hollow arcades. This is where people will come to spend their leisure time and money, it would seem. And even though the sun is still in the sky, slowly you start to see lurid neon colours starting to slowly heat up and ignite across the faces of very busy section of the city. It's still relatively early for this city's nightlife, but you do start to see people making their way to hotels, residences. The shift in tone is starting to take place between people's kind of, I'm going to work, I'm going about my day, to I'm getting ready for my evening. And you can kind of sense that as you move around the city. But it is still early. You reach a very large building, which helpfully is labelled in common as the Rouge Saloon. However, the doors at current are still closed.
Is there a sign with opening times on?
There is. It does not officially open for another couple of hours.
Okay.
Time
Are
for
there any
a coffee.
bars nearby? Yeah, bars or cafes, cantinas.
There are plenty of little bars, cafes, and cantinas dotted throughout this
There
district.
a bakery nearby.
Are the lizard boys coming up yet?
I've heard, someone who isn't me has told me that when you are experiencing drugs, a lot of the time it takes a scenario, a situation to make you realise that there's something happening. If you're just walking around, often you don't even really notice, and then somebody asks you a complicated question, for instance. So right now, no real big noticeable differences. They do seem to be in good spirits, and they are getting on well, but that's kind of how they roll at the moment.
Alrighty, bar it is.
Wait, but are there any bakeries before on the way to the bar? Because I really Clara really
Want a hot
fancies
chocolate?
pastry. No,
Okay.
pastry. I have an actual pastry sitting next to me that I really want to eat, and I'm working it into my
So you're
character.
gonna
Method again. Love it.
I'm not going to eat it
Pastry.
on stream, but I want it.
Yeah, you know what? There is a baked goods store that is starting to like close down for the evening, but you can get in there quick before it shuts. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just want to buy just. Do they have any like chocolatey filled pastries? I just want to buy like a bunch of them.
What pastry specifically have you got?
Well, the okay, so you go into the shop and it's a quaint little bakery, and you are met by a local Brunari, sorry. A Brunari is kind of like a 5-foot-tall otter, humanoid otter.
Oh.
And as they kind of are packing down the trays and bringing them, they're just sort of idly flicking their little whiskers about and they're kind of like a little bit more, perhaps should we say a little bit more chill Yosoki, a little bit taller, a little bit more relaxed, a little less skittish and kind of. But yeah, they're just sort of slinking around their bakery, kind of closing up shop for the night. Hello.
Hi there. Sorry, I know you're about to close, but I have a hankering for some chocolate pastries. Please tell me you have some.
Oh, yeah. We have pastries. Yes. How about these?
What are those? What are those?
But you casually realise that there is no such thing as chocolate on Marianas VI, but when you describe the flavour, when you describe the sensation you get from it, they go, well, we don't have any chocolate, but this will be quite close.
Is it
Describe the flavour of chocolate for us, Clara.
sweet? Milky, sweet, and a little bit bitter. And smooth.
I mean, you did a pretty good job.
That's
That's pretty damn accurate.
It's a nat 20 on the describing chocolate taste.
I eat a lot of chocolate.
I also eat a lot of chocolate, and all I could think of was cocoa beans.
I'd be like, bitter. I only really eat dark chocolates.
Sometimes a little bit nutty.
This Brunari gestures at this tray of neat rolled pastries. Something, like perhaps the colours are slightly different to what you're used to, but they smell good.
She just like takes a big whiff and it's like, how much?
It's the end of the day. 3 credits for 3?
Sure. I'll take 6.
Oh. Just pop 6 in a bag for you.
Thanks.
6 credits.
She hands over the credits.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have done a service in sustaining my cravings. Thank you.
There you go. Got 6 nice little
As soon
pastries.
as she gets out of the bakery, she's just gonna try one just immediately.
Just get stuck in. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are flaky. They are sweet. They are warming. They're pretty good. They're pretty
She's not gonna
good.
eat all of them. She's just gonna eat one of them and like.
They're not
just
massive.
savor it.
They're kind of like, sort of like somewhere
Like
between a
macaroni size?
croissant and a matchbox in terms of size.
So like a small Danish.
Yeah, like a baby Danish. Like a bit bigger
big
than
matchbox or a
like
small
bigger than a Jaffa cake, but smaller than a Danish.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, if a Jaffa cake had a baby with a cinnamon whirl,
Ooh.
about there, wagon
I would
wheel
eat that
size
maybe.
maybe. You know?
Wagon wheel. There we go. Something I can relate to.
I'm
For fuck's
so
sake.
hungry right now.
apropos of nothing, and obviously,
I'm gonna inhale this.
I need
pastry
to
as soon as
stress,
we
we're not
get
all
off.
well high right now. I know it sounds like we've been talking about drugs and food for 3 hours. I've only had a couple of beers, I swear.
Omagada turns to Clara and goes, interestingly, in Denmark, they don't call them Danish pastries. They call them Viennese bread.
Where's Denmark?
You know what? That is interesting. Thanks for sharing. I don't like that you broke the world, but it was an interesting enough fact to justify it. Well done.
And then Omagada snaps and goes, where did that come from?
Clara's gonna lean into she and just go, I think the drugs are kicking in already. Have you ever heard of somewhere called Denmark? Yeah, me neither.
Give me a history check. No,
I
let's
thought I knew quite a lot about this galaxy.
It's a very small world in the Vescarium.
It's a moon, really,
It
isn't
has
it?
issues with things. It has issues with things rotting sometimes. Hey, come on!
There are lots of dams there.
You guys managed to find a nice little bar to post up for some pre-drinkies. Unless there is anything particularly you want to achieve in this bar, please feel free to say right now if there is. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of skip briefly ahead.
Just get slightly hammered.
I'm
Okay.
mentally preparing myself for the fact that one of us might have to do what is it to get information.
Laz,
Oh,
Well,
right.
it's-
Sorry, I thought...
oh wow, okay.
No, it was...
Not the death.
I was like, Jesus.
Not the death.
Right.
The sexual persuasion.
It's a brothel, not a sex club.
Blaz is not gonna be preparing for that, but he's gonna do his best to ease the giant lizards into their trip in the nicest way possible. So he's
Okay.
gonna talk to them about how, do you ever notice how sometimes, everywhere you go, it's all just people, man. It's bitches always know.
Sorry.
it's all just people, and everywhere has the same sort of vibe, and everyone's all connected, and it's all really one when you think about it. There's no here and there. It's all just we.
Ormungandr looks quizzically at Blast and goes, are you high?
Face?
I'm like staring at my hands.
Claws.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that, yes, you are definitely...
Maybe he's so high that he thinks they're hands.
What I will... Are my claws hands? I think I've got fingers. Yes, you are... Your levels of empathy are high now. You are not tripping, but you are feeling that kind of soft disconnection. Yeah, just pensive, thinking it through at the moment. You slot down a few local beverages in the bar, and before long, the lights outside the Rouge, you sense bustle on the street as people begin to queue for the doors opening to the Rouge Saloon. I will give you. Oh, go on.
Damn, you know a brothel's good when people are queuing.
Well,
Fucking hell.
well, look, you've been around. You guys have been around to varying degrees, but as this part of the town really starts to fire up in the evenings, you suddenly become aware of, why this might be such a popular pit stop. It is starting to really heave with people. There are tons of businesses in this part of town, and it is, as the sun sets, the neon fires up, and it is everywhere. As you look up and down the street, it's a canal of lurid neon, many stories high, these kind of narrow canyons of hectic chaos. It's fairly good-natured, but let me just show you quickly. I'm going to have to bloody sort that, aren't I? Pegging out. Right, let me just zoom this in for chat, because otherwise I won't be able to see out. Yeah, here we go. So, the outside of the Rouge Saloon looks something like this. This is only an approximation. This is just one small face of it. This is kind of like a series of almost entrance gates. And people, as the doors open, people start to file in. And it extends up for story after story. This is kind of like this gatehouse almost out the front, but the actual building itself is pretty vast. Certainly, probably one of the biggest bordellos you've ever seen in your travels. It's pretty impressive, and you realise as well that there's some pretty heavy, and I mean heavy, looking security out the front. They're checking people out. Checking weapons, and kind of giving people the once-over, checking for dress code, things like that.
What's the dress code, Jay?
You can't tell. It's not written down on any of the signage. It wasn't on the opening hours time. Most people are getting in. It doesn't seem particularly strict, but there is definitely a filter being applied. You can't quite work out the rules of it. It's kind of like the Berghain. Nobody quite knows what you have to wear to get in, but they'll let you know when it's not right. The security are amongst the most heavily armed security you've ever seen at a night spot. Wow. They are not messing around. But yeah, the queue is there and available. And people are starting to make their way in.
Should we start queuing?
Yeah. Just let me spruce myself up a little bit, and Blaz reconfigures his scruffy nerf herder look to a slightly more slick and stylish appearance.
Nice. Okay. So, you guys jump in the queue. Face?
Before we... Yeah, I want to get in the queue. But I also want to use one of my spells.
Ooh. Okay.
To turn the pills that I have invisible.
Interesting.
Because I don't want them finding any pills on me and then being like, what have you got these for?
Okay. Yeah. How long does that last for?
Let me check.
That's good. This is the sort of immersive gameplay that always makes me smile. It doesn't matter. It's going to be, it's at least a minute, presumably.
It says 1 round per level.
Oh, that's not a lot, is it?
Well,
no. So, what, 30 seconds? No.
24 seconds.
Yeah, I'm level 4,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Spellcasting is not subtle.
So, I have to ask you a question then. So, are you going to attempt to do this, essentially, just to get to the doorman?
No, actually, do you know what?
How many pills did we have? Maybe we should just take all the pills before we go in.
Only Blaz knows.
We started off with 4.
Okay, you've taken 1 each, so there's 2 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 2 left. Okay, let's just take the other 2.
Well, hang on. Does anyone else want one first? I mean...
Yeah.
No.
Clara, why don't you take both of them?
Thanks.
I don't think more empathy is what I need right now. My own emotions are overwhelming.
Come on,
enough, thank you
Balaz.
very much.
You know you want to take at least one of these pills.
This stream is a fucking bad influence. This is why I have to put the kid. This is not suitable for kids. This is one of the many reasons.
Go
on, mate. You only live once. Just bang it down, yeah. It'll be a larger.
When the peer pressure kicks in.
Blas remembers his recent 3-day hangover after a diplomatic lunch on board the Ferrobarium, and is like, no, it's So look, I'll hide him for you, but no.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got like a little compartment.
Blas makes the pills roll across his knuckles and disappear into his palm.
Okay, so you're going to try and sleight of hand them through security. Okay.
Yep.
Well, lovely folks. I think that as you approach the wildly heavy door security to the Rouge Saloon, the vast and unknowable Rouge Saloon, I think that feels like a perfect place to end it for this evening. So yes, I do have something that I need to say. Next week, I have a super secret special guest on the show. So those of you at home and you YouTubers,
is it your opponent?
I am not going to tell you who it is, but it's I have a surprise guest next week, so do not miss next week. We have a surprise guest, these lovely people, and a peek inside the infamous Rouge Saloon. It's been a long time coming, but here we are, right on the doors. Will they all even get in? Who knows? Can you imagine if they were all turned away and they had to go to some down rent effort? They never got to see inside. What if I truly Berghain them? It's a sort of sick thing I would do. Only time will tell.
Just use Clem and Yala's name to get in, surely. Like they're well known there.
Get a name drop from locals.
There, surely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
we should just, when we get to the doorman, we should be like, Clem recommended this place.
I guess the only way to find out is to tune in here, the Secret Lab, Mondays at 8 PM for more Starfinder, The Drift Awakens. We're going to run the credits, we're going to hang out with chat for a minute, and then we're going to bob over to raid somebody. But yeah, if you're YouTube only, thanks for watching. And the rest of you lovely folk, I'll be back with you in just a second. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and before I go, I should do it because of the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, follow OverlordFace, follow VampZoe, follow the Uncanny Crafter. It's alright, nobody gets to the end of my YouTube videos anyway. They're fucking long. Right, see you later.